Hey folks, this is International Master David Pruess from chess.com with a video that will tell you everything you need to know to play the King's Gambit. Now first off, who is the King's Gambit for? The King's Gambit is for you because you don't like playing boring chess. The King's Gambit is for people who are confident and people who are good at complicated and tactical positions. So here is what the King's Gambit is. After e4, e5, you figure, knight f3, knight c6, boring, so you play f4. And you sacrifice your pawn. So black can take it. And then you'd be down a pawn. They'd also be threatening queen h4 check. Now, what is the point of the King's Gambit? Well, there are three things that you play for in the opening in chess. One is development, two is control of the center, and the third is long-term advantages, like being up material, having more space, having weak pawn structure for your opponent. In the King's Gambit, you tend to emphasize central control. It's important to know what you have and what you don't have. We didn't develop a piece when we played f4, but we did attack black's center pawn, and now we've diverted it from the center. So now, white's strategy is going to be to dominate the center. That's strategy number one. Strategy number two is to try and win back the pawn in f4, if we can, because actually it's pretty annoying on the king side. And strategy number three, if black defends this pawn with moves like h6 and g5, then we're going to get a development lead. Also, always remember to keep the game complicated, folks. So for example, knight f3, d6, d4. If your opponent just develops a random piece, you need to grab that pawn. Don't think too long about this. You need that pawn. But if your opponent defends that pawn, I want you to start developing your pieces. If they keep making pawn moves defending that pawn chain, you should keep getting your pieces out, and you should try to get a development lead and then attack your opponent. Now, there are two other variations you need to know to play the King's Gambit. One is black playing d5, the most aggressive response. You're going to take that pawn because it's in the center. He's going to play e4. Now you're going to challenge that pawn because it's in the center. And when he plays here, you're just going to keep taking stuff in the center. Even though your opponent gets well ahead in development like this, you are going to take everything in the center and then try and fight for and defend that central position. Be very careful with your king there, okay? The final variation that you need to know is that black could just defend the pawn with d6 or, the better move, bishop to c5, preventing you from castling. Don't ever fall for a really, really painful queen h4 check. Instead, you need to bring your knights to f3 as soon as possible to stop that. Black will defend. And now in keeping with the King's Gambit, what do? You play c3, and then you push d4, taking over the center. Remember, are you developing quickly here? No. Is he? Quite likely yes, right? He might bring out a knight here. You play d4. He trades and comes here. So now your goal is you need to defend your center pawns because you are behind in development. Do that, and you will dominate later. That's all you need to know about the King's Gambit for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you around on chess.com.